segir svona.
Það er skemmtilega að vera svona hátíðir ef allt drasli sem heitir sölu. Og í kringum það hittir maður líka oft skemmtilegasta fólki.
Hvaðan ertu á Íslandi?
Hvað segirðu?
Hvaðan ertu?
Ég er frá Reyðarfirði.
Reyðarfjörði?
Já.
Ok, í Austurlandi?
Já, Austurlandi.
Já, flestir sem ég þekki á Íslandi þau eru frá Eskifjörði.
Já, ok.
Já, og
Afi býr þar.
Jú, í heimsókn. Ég bjó í Reykjavík fyrir kannski 10 árum síðan.
Já, ok.
Já, en
Lengi?
1,5 ár.
Og lærður íslensku bara á 1,5 árið, eða?
Já, hvað segja, áður en ég flutti til Íslands var ég búinn að læra íslensku. Men sko, ég get ekki ég hefur ekki tækifæri að æfa mig hérna og ég er alltaf að blanda norsku og íslensku saman. Svoleiðis.
Gera þetta samt vel?
Þekkir þú Birkir Viðarsson?
Bróðir minn.
Nei! That's what I like about North Dakota and Iceland is like when you meet a stranger, you talk for 5 minutes and then you know that like it's like, oh, that's your old roommate.
Yeah.
Oh, that I made out with her at a party or some sort of thing like that. Or you talk to somebody and then that ends up being their brother.
It's a small world.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna walk around.
Okay.
Nice to see you, man.
Vá, hvað þetta er ótrúlega lítill heimur.
Sko, þið eru fallegi bóli, sko.
Hverjar eru líkurnar á að hitta mann í mountain sem þekki bróður minn? Vá.
Haha, æðislegt.
So I clipped this video from an Icelandic television show called Andri á flandri. Andri has like a radio program and television show in Iceland, and this is from like 2012, and I'm glad I clipped this because I haven't seen it online since, and I found it. I've been snooping through old external drives, finding old photos and things from Germany and Norway and Iceland, and some of you friends online, Yanni, Rika, Martin, Christy, I've been sending you some funny memories from things that I found on this external drive. But I found this video, I wanted to share it. Andri, I didn't know who he was. I knew there was an Icelandic television crew in North Dakota that week. It's an Icelandic festival. People should know this already, but you know, in North Dakota we have in North Dakota and in Manitoba, Canada, we have the largest concentration of Icelanders outside of Iceland. And if you're from a small country like Iceland, if there's somewhere else in the world where there are Icelandic people, Icelandic towns, churches, people who speak your language, you're interested in coming there. So Andri and his crew, they were there visiting, and when I bumped into him, I was so surprised to find out that he's my friend Birkir's brother, and I had no idea. It was quite a surprise, but and several times I've bumped into people, Icelanders in North Dakota, and I end up talking to them and find out that, you know, they're my friend's parents, or we have mutual friends and things like this. So this is another one of those episodes. So let's watch it here, see what happens.
Segir svona.
Það er skemmtilega að vera svona hátíðir ef allt drasli sem heitir sölu. Og í kringum það hittir maður líka oft skemmtilegasta fólki.
Hvaðan ertu á Íslandi?
Hvað segirðu?
Hvaðan ertu?
Ég er frá Reyðarfirði.
Reyðarfjörði?
Yeah.
Ok, í Austurlandi?
Já, Austurlandi.
So, I asked him where he's from, and he said he's from Reyðarfjörður. And I was excited because most of my friends in Iceland are from Eskifjörður, which is a village that's nearby. You can see I earlier it showed me, and I had a camera on my belt. I was also filming this weekend. I have a lot of footage from this weekend. I haven't looked through it all yet. So yeah, I was excited to find out that he's from Eastern Iceland.
Flestir sem ég þekki á Íslandi þau eru frá Eskifjörði.
Já, ok.
Já, og
Afi býr þar.
ég,
Ok. Afi Byrðar. Jæja, sko, þú veist, ég held að hann var að tala á ensku. Í eitthvað svona strong Icelandic accent. So, Afi Byrðar, have you been there? That's what I thought he was speaking English. I thought he was asking me, have I been there? So of course I say yes, of course. I used to live in Reykjavik.
jú, ég heimsók. Ég bjó í Reykjavík fyrir kannski 10 árum síðan.
Já, ok.
En
Lengi.
1,5 ár.
Og lærður íslenskunna bara á 1,5 ári eða?
Já, hvað segja, áður en ég flutti til Íslands var ég búinn að læra forníslensku.
So he asked if I learned Icelandic in that year and a half that I was living in Reykjavik. I let him know that before I moved to Iceland that I had learned Old Icelandic, Old Norse, which helped me. I also learned some of the Icelandic, which is spoken in North Dakota, but it's kind of archaic. We say kammar fyrir klósettið. We say like outhouse for meaning in a toilet, like an indoor toilet. We say halda upp teiti instead of like halda upp party. So yeah, when I moved to Iceland, my people were entertained by some of the archaic Icelandic words that I use.
En sko, ég get ekki ég hefur ekki tækifæri að æfa mig hérna og vera alltaf að blanda norsku og íslensku saman.
Gera þetta samt vel.
So I tell him that, you know, I don't have any chance to practice my Icelandic really anymore in North Dakota, and that when I speak Icelandic, I mix it a lot with Norwegian. Same thing happens when I speak. If you've heard me speak Norwegian, I don't really mix Icelandic with my Norwegian, but I use I use a lot of Danish and Swedish, so I speak quite a mix.
Gera þetta samt vel.
Þekkir þú Birkir Viðarsson?
Bróðir minn.
Nei!
So yeah, I asked. So I was like, I was thinking, who's from Reyðarfjörður? And I was like, Birkir. Maybe he must know Birkir. And then he said that Birkir is his brother, and I just couldn't believe it. Like Birkir and I connected like in the early 2000s on MySpace, and we connected on like kung fu movies. Gordon Lau, Shaw kung fu movies, and he played in a really good hardcore punk band called I Adapt. So I couldn't believe it that it was. I mean, he was also surprised that I asked of anybody. I asked him if he knew Birkir. He's like, "That's my brother." Oh, that's rad.
That's what I like about North Dakota and Iceland is like when you meet a stranger, you talk for 5 minutes and then you know that like it's like, oh, that's your old roommate.
Yeah.
Oh, that I made out with her at a party or some sort of thing like that. Or you talk to somebody and then that ends up being their brother.
It's a small world.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna walk around.
Okay.
Nice to see you, man.
So yeah, I just after my excitement, I had to speak English, and I was just saying, you know, it's very common. I mean, it's like in Iceland and in North Dakota, I mean, you meet a stranger, you talk for 5 minutes, and you end up realizing that you have mutual friends or some other situation like that. I mean, yeah, it's like that in Iceland. It used to be like that in North Dakota.
Vá, hvað þetta ótrúlega lítill heimur.
Sko, þið eru fallið í bóli, sko.
Hverjar eru líkurnar á að hitta mann í mountain sem þekki bróður minn? Wow.
Haha, æðislegt.
So yeah, he just talks about how wild it is that he could be in Mountain, North Dakota, this small town in North Dakota, and meet some guy who knows his brother. So yeah, it was pretty wild. I remember like when this aired on television in Iceland, my Icelandic friends contacted me and said it was really cool to see me on the television. I hadn't been in Iceland, been back to visit in such a long time, so that was fun. Some friends also saw me a year before. My friend Svala, who's a filmmaker, did a documentary about me, which was shown in the cinema. So my friends either saw me in the cinema in Iceland or they saw me on television that year. So yeah, it was really cool. So I'm glad I clipped this video. Like I said, I don't think it's online anymore, and there's a lot more footage from his visit in North Dakota and in Canada, but I just wanted to show this little piece here. So like I said, I was snooping through, but I went back to the States for a couple months and I found some old external hard drives, and I'm looking through some, snooping through them and finding some fun media. So here's this. I'll see what else I can find and if it's something interesting, I'll share it. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.